There's a loophole that drivers in North America get away with that doesn't exist pretty much anywhere else in the world. The right turn on red. It's a simple action that any driver is familiar with, but some say that this one rule is causing a lot of problems for our safety. Hey! If I didn't purposely stage that, that could have been really bad. Wait. Hi, my name is Originating, and chances are you've been in this predicament. You're trying to cross a road, you have the right of way, but there's a driver trying to turn right on a red light and you're not quite sure if they can see you. It becomes this awkward song and dance between the pedestrian and the driver where no one comes out of it feeling happy. This is a right turn on red, and this simple act is making our intersections a lot more dangerous. But before we get into that, we must first look into the risks involved at an intersection.
Everyone's either almost been killed or almost killed someone at an intersection, and it's not hard to see why. According to CBC, approximately 79% of crashes involving a pedestrian happen at an intersection. And while right turn on red make up a smaller overall number of these crashes here, on average, it's 3 times more likely to cause an accident than any other action at an intersection. To understand why this is, let's run the scenario back, but this time from the driver's perspective. If it were you in this situation, you might not have done much differently. You come to a stop at the red light, wait and observe your surroundings, then turn right when it's safe to do so. Safe and simple, right? As it turns out, a lot could have gone wrong here. When a driver pulls up to an intersection with the intention of turning right, they instinctively want to get their vehicle into the best position to avoid getting struck by an oncoming car from the direction they are looking to turn. In practice, this usually entails inching closer into the intersection, which in turn means slowly but surely blocking the crosswalk. But notice where the driver's eyes are looking. As a driver, the greatest threat to your safety is an oncoming car, so your priorities lead you to check for any danger coming from your left. But what's missing from your vantage point are any pedestrians trying to cross from your right that you'd be turning into.
There are many points of conflict in this situation, both from the driver and the pedestrian's perspective. But while everything I've just described is common practice across most of North America, the rest of the world is looking at us wondering how we could ever be so uncivilized. And yet, it wasn't always like this.
The origins of right turn on red date back to the 1970s. There was an energy crisis, and preserving oil and gas was of utmost importance to the American government. Up to this point, right turns on red lights were illegal in North America, just like anywhere else. But when times get tough, any savings can be justified. So in 1975, Congress passed the Energy Policy and Conservation Act, featuring a new requirement for states to allow vehicles to turn right on red lights, and Canadian legislation followed suit. The justification was that speeding up drivers' interactions with intersections would save valuable fuel in a time where fuel was hard to come by. What they didn't mention at the time, though, was how the amount of fuel saved was negligible.
But last I checked, there's still a lot of fuel at gas stations, and we've certainly achieved greater fuel efficiency since the 70s. I mean, hybrids and EVs also exist now. So why are we still so attached to turning right on red?
Nowadays, turning right on red is all about convenience. Every second spent waiting for pedestrians to clear an intersection on a green light is a second not spent getting to your destination. Sometimes, being able to seize that opportunity on a red light when the coast is clear can make you feel like you're getting somewhere that much faster.
But when you really stop and think about it, at most you're only ever saving mere seconds on the minute. Now, those seconds can feel like eternities in the moment, sure, but when you consider that the trade-offs could be serious, well, it's worth asking yourself if those seconds are really worth it. After all, you're probably all going to get stuck at the same red light in a couple blocks anyways.
So what can be done about this? At a grand scale, the most effective option at our disposal is to ban right turns on red outright. It might sound like overkill, but this is what's been done in Washington, D.C., and the results more than speak for themselves.
But going through with a citywide, province-wide, or even countrywide ban on right turn on red can be politically contentious. People generally don't like having things taken away from them, regardless of the implications. The more common approach is ban right turn on red at specific intersections through the use of signs. But on a case-by-case basis like this, the results are less than ideal. Drivers can get confused. So many people are used to instinctively turning right on red that they might not even think to look for a sign. And to be rather frank, some people just don't care.
To me, right turns on red aren't really about saving gas or shaving off a few seconds. They're about the level of risk that we're willing to accept in exchange for a little convenience. And ultimately, that comes down to personal values. Sure, it's convenient to roll through when the coast looks clear, but is that little bit of convenience worth making our roads more dangerous for everyone?
As I see it, right turns on red don't save money, they don't save gas, they hardly save time, and they definitely don't save lives. It's a half-baked idea from the 70s that barely made sense then and makes even less sense now. So maybe it's time to finally admit this right turn was never the right call.